So ladies and gentlemen, we kickstart this morning with social responsibility of publishers. And as I have already shared, this session is being chaired by Mr. Hugo Setzer, IPA Vice President. I have the pleasure of inviting the esteemed chairperson to please join us on stage. Hugo is, since 1990, CEO of Manuel Moderno, which is a leading publishing house in the fields of medicine and psychology in Spanish language, based in Mexico City, and with subsidiary offices in Bogota, Colombia. He holds a bachelor's degree in industrial engineering from the National University in Mexico and an MBA degree from IPADE Business School. At present, he is Vice President of the International Publishers Association, where he has also served on its executive committee from 2004 to 2010 and from 2013 to present. He has taken part also as speaker at several IPA congresses since 1984, when it was held in Mexico City. Ladies and gentlemen, he lives in Mexico City, is married and has 2 children, and is chairing the first session this morning. I now hand it over to you, Mr. Chairperson, sir, to take the session forward.
Thank you very much for this introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for being here early in the morning, in this Monday morning, after yesterday's very nice dinner. And we are ready to start the day with this session about social responsibility of publishers. I am also very glad to have an outstanding panel of speakers with me here this morning, which I introduce in a moment. And I would like just to make a few opening remarks. Perhaps some of you have been thinking, well, why do we have a panel on social responsibility of publishers? Why should we be discussing social responsibility of publishing? What does it mean? Does it mean we will be transforming our businesses into charity? I think that I've noticed that we have sometimes a perception as publishers, many people unfortunately have the perception of publishers as being the greedy, very large corporations exploiting authors and readers. And sometimes we haven't been able to really communicate in a better way all the work we do and the social responsibility work we do within our company, starting by the nature of our business, which is providing users with valuable information. So I think we need to change that narrative. And I also think that, in general, social responsibility is important for us in our businesses to remain relevant for the future. We have been, for example, within IPA, working on the Sustainable Development Goals, and we will continue working on them to see how we can contribute to those goals. For example, one of them, which is diversity and inclusion. I was reading recently an article of the consulting firm McKinsey that studied the global relevance of the link between diversity, defined as a greater proportion of women and a more mixed ethnic and cultural composition in the leadership of large companies, and company financial outperformance. They found out that the more diverse companies are, the better they are able to attract top talent, to improve their customer orientation, their employee satisfaction, and their decision-making, and have, in the end, better financial results. So it's not just because it's politically correct, this thing of social responsibility. I think it also makes, of course, good business sense. We will be discussing this morning, for example, the positive impact and the need for action within the Accessible Books Consortium, what can we do as publishers to provide more accessible books for the visually impaired people. We will also have the vision of what governmental organizations are doing in this respect. We will be discussing about one of publishers' main activities, which is to filter the content we publish for quality check. You have heard that we have been talking, and especially our president, Michiel Kohlmann, of how in this world of fake news we are, as publishers, the guardians of reliable information and of truthworthy information. So that's also something we're going to discuss.